You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters. Welcome, fellow stargazers. The sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love February.
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, maybe because Valentine's Day is in February.
Of course. How could I forget?
Our dad's birthday's in February. I don't know. February's always just been sort of like a nice winter month. It's February. I don't know. You're not too far into the new year, but you're not, right at the end of the holiday. It's sort of like the first month of the year, really.
Right. Well, that's right. We have passed the cross quarter day it was actually on the 4th.
Right.
So, we're well past that and we're heading towards spring, which is awesome.
True.
And there's more light.
Exactly. Maybe that's it. But specifically right now, we're at episode 24, which will cover Sunday, February 20th through Saturday, February 26th, sort of the endish of the month, because there's only 28 days this year in February. So what should we do? Where should we start? What's happening?
We can start with the moon.
Okay.
The moon is in Libra on Sunday the 20th. And it makes some lovely aspects in Libra. Trine Saturn right in the morning, squares Venus later in the day, squares Venus and Mars. So this is kind of important.
Right.
So as we open up the week, Venus is at 19, Mars is at 19, and Vesta is at 21 Capricorn.
Okay.
So they're all in within a degree or two of one another. And Venus and Mars are conjunct. And with Vesta there, it's a stellium. It's a grouping of 3 planets, our personal planets, Venus and Mars. So Venus is the feminine, Mars is the masculine, Venus is the yin, Mars is the yang.
Right.
They're, 2 sides of the same coin, basically. And so they are in conjunction right now with Vesta. So this is a tremendous opportunity in Capricorn, very, very practical, very solid, very earth-based, very organized sign. This is really offering us an opportunity to sort out and come to terms with what we value.
Yeah.
What we want to put our time. So Capricorn is time, our discipline, our attention, our loyalty.
Right.
How do we want to structure our lives moving forward? There's something also here for folks living in the United States as a country. The country itself is going through its Pluto return.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is a return?
Okay, so Pluto's at 27 degrees Capricorn and has been there for quite a while. But on the 20th, it's at 27 degrees, 33 minutes. And that is the exact degree placement. So 27 degrees, 33 minutes, where Pluto was in the chart of the birth of the United States as a country, which is considered the Sibley, it's called the Sibley Chart, July 4th, 1776, 5-something in the afternoon.
Right.
And that was when the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Right.
It wasn't signed by everybody, but it had the most signatures. They had met and they had signed things. And so there was this time which was noted, and it has been used as the birth chart of the country.
Right.
So Pluto takes about 240 some odd years, I think it's 247 years, to make one revolution around the sun.
Mm.
So when it comes back to, 247 years ago, it started out on a journey around the sun. And now it's back to where it was at that degree, 27 degrees, 33 minutes, when the Sibley chart was created.
Right, yeah.
So this is called a Pluto return.
Okay.
There's a similar idea on your birthday every year, right?
Yes, the sun returns.
The sun returns to the same place it was the moment you were born.
Isn't that where the expression many happy returns comes from?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Right, because you're wishing someone lots of returns.
Another year. That's right.
Many returns.
Many suns coming up and down.
Many sun returns going forward. So this Pluto return is a big deal because it's kind of like it's Pluto's birthday,
right?
With the country. And Pluto, of course, is the keeper of the underworld. It's the unconscious, the bits that are not recognized, stuffed away, put into kind of a deep freeze or a fire zone.
Yeah, right.
Pluto does not welcome anyone to his abode unless you're, dead. I mean, it's basically the lord of the underworld, Hades. There's other ways of looking at Pluto, but Pluto is basically about transformation and coming back from the dead.
Absolutely.
Using all the wisdom of that to move forward.
Yeah.
So we are, as a country, the United States is as a country going through this Pluto return. Pluto will be kind of hovering over this degree, has been, and it will leave Capricorn in 2023.
Right.
But this degree, these last 3 degrees, these last bits of Capricorn are pretty much about the country's transformation. And what does that entail?
Right.
I mean, we can all see, in the past 2 years, how things have changed, how every aspect of our lives has been impacted, from personal relationships to social relationships. And there's still more to come. I mean, this is not done. It's not done yet.
Yeah.
But this the 20th of February, 2022 is the exact day of Pluto's return. So,
yeah, I mean, that deserves a program all to itself. But because Pluto is an outer planet, it affects a larger versus like the inner or personal planets like Venus, like Mars. Pluto affects larger cultural, societal, national nation of a nation. So that's why it's so significant that it's the nation's Pluto's return.
Right.
It covers such a long period of time versus our closer planets.
Yes. And individually, we will not live to see a Pluto return.
Exactly, right.
As an individual human at our current rate of, lifespan.
Exactly.
However, when Pluto transits through one of your houses in your natal chart, you know about it.
Yeah.
It's not a lightweight transit. So Pluto has touched all of our lives at many different times. Whenever you're going through personally a big shift, a divorce, a death of some kind, a change of move, different understanding of your belief system, a whole shifting of your belief system, that's a Pluto transit.
Yeah.
I think about Ram Dass, who was a professor at Harvard and, was on that track to be, to be a, I can't think of his name. What was his name before it was Ram Dass? But he was a professor at Harvard and that was his job. And, then the next thing you know, he takes some LSD and he becomes Ram Dass. Well, something happened to that guy, right? I mean, he had some kind of transformation.
Yes.
I mean, that's on a personal level, but there are other countries.
Right.
Richard Tanas has written a book called Cosmos and Psyche, which looks at the Pluto returns. It looks at the Saturn, Uranus, Pluto transits to each other and to countries, and charts these various revolutions and
cultural shifts.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you can go back to the signing of the Declaration of Independence and really look at, well, what was that about?
Right.
What was the independence piece?
Yeah.
I mean,
power and authority versus freedom and independence.
Right. And then you kind of look at what's going on. Right. So that's happening.
Yeah. That's kind of macro, and it's going to stick around for a while. So we'll probably be touching upon it again.
Yeah. And Pluto won't leave Capricorn until 2023. So we've got, we've got all this year and part of next year. But what's significant and why we started talking about Venus, Mars, and Vesta is that they are moving together as a group,
Right.
as a threesome, and they are going to be meeting up with Pluto right at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
And then moving, with and over Pluto together as a group until the end of March. So this is like a time from now until the end of March where we will have opportunities to transform.
Yes.
And because these are personal planets, Venus, Mars, Vesta is more about an internal dedication.
Yes.
She's not a personal planet. She's an asteroid goddess, but her being in this stellium and moving with Mars and Venus is giving us an idea of that we have a choice, that there's some choice that we can make right now about where we want to go.
And to look inward to sort of divine or sort that out, that it's going to be an internal investigation.
It is, because Vesta is about the fire, the internal passion.
Yeah.
So it's really about, what lights your fire.
Yeah.
I mean, and Mars is right there, like with the torch, I mean, he's like right there. Okay. Let's light your fire. Let's get out the bellows and kind of get that fire going. Where's your passion? Where's your mojo? Shouldn't you be dedicating the rest of your life to something that you really love to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the big question right now. And how would that look? How do you have to structure things so that will make sense? That's like the whole week. I mean, that's the rest of the year, basically.
Yeah.
That's really the call, the clarion call for this spring.
Absolutely.
This is kind of the precursor to what changes you can make going forward, and how could that happen? How could you roll that out?
Yeah.
So we have this week kind of this big picture transformation, and then personal dedication, and really kind of like deep diving a little bit with that in mind.
Yes.
The other thing that's happening at the same time that Mars and Venus are moving into this conjunction. They're within 8 degrees. So it's a weak conjunction that's going to be getting stronger. That's why I'm talking about it.
Their conjunction to Pluto is going to get stronger. They're approaching Pluto.
Yes.
Right. They're only about 7 or 8 degrees apart right now.
But the other thing that's happening with Venus and Mars right now is that they're making a sextile to Neptune.
We've not had Neptune around for a little while.
Well, no, we haven't talked about Neptune, but he's been in Pisces,
right?
And he's another lord of the underworld, only this time the lord of the underwater, so the sea.
Right. Yes.
So this, the aspect with the Venus sextile Neptune can be charming, generous, idealistic, love of beauty and the arts, having an empathy and being able to empathize. And with Mars sextile Neptune, this is also the possibility of strong psychic sensitivity and an inclination to mysticism and the arts. So there might be opportunities where you kind of have a reverie, like you drop into like a daydream during a moment in the day, and things somehow become very clear just from that, that intense moment of dropping into another level of consciousness, which was Neptune.
Yeah.
It's all about envisioning, clarifying your aims, learning to focus or be a channel for a higher use, a different use of transformative use of your life.
Well, that's pretty amazing because the card I pulled for today is the King of Swords. And what I'm reading about the King of Swords is that, Master Manifestor, the King of Swords practices meditation every chance they get, for a still, clear, calm mind is really this king's superpower. At this stage of the game, you'll find that you'll be able to make almost intuitive choices as if you don't even have to think at all. You know what will work for you and what will not. You no longer waste your time on limiting ideas or mind traps that keep you from obtaining your goals, your hopes, and dreams.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other aspects I could talk about here.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
This is just opening up the week. There's also a trine from Venus and Mars to the North Node.
Oh.
So any of this activity, that we've talked about is supported. It's part of an evolutionary destiny, karma. You have an opportunity. There may be an opportunity coming. It's a kind of a karmic opportunity. It involves taking a new step. It's really pretty amazing that the power of Venus and Mars together opening up some new transformative experiences that may take you in a completely different direction.
Yes.
There's also a semi-sextile that both of them are making to Saturn.
Ah.
So a semi-sextile is not quite as happy-go-lucky or as harmonizing as a sextile, but a semi-sextile is nothing to sneeze at either. You get a little boost. It's like getting an extra power surge for working with time, discipline, any of the Saturnian qualities.
Okay.
Dedication, giving time to something, structuring something. This is all supported. These are all really good aspects.
Fantastic.
I mean, this is a really amazing week. The exact sextile to Neptune, Mars, and Venus is on Wednesday and Thursday. But basically, because these are slower moving planets, they're going to be within orb, but they're exact on Wednesday and Thursday. And also on Thursday, Mercury is going to be squaring Uranus. And Mercury squaring Uranus gives a little bit of restlessness.
Right.
But also very sharp, mentally sharp. So you might be able to grasp new thoughts around ideas that you have, or you have a vision, or you can kind of put yourself into situations. You can envision. Just have to be careful of a know-it-all attitude with Mercury square Uranus. It can be unpredictable and erratic. That's also possible.
Yes. Mercurial.
Yes, but it's also anything that touches Uranus has got a touch of the visionary. So just keep a handle on it. Don't spin something out of control or don't make something more than it is. Just kind of keep a grip on it.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
Good advice, even if Mercury isn't square Uranus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great week. I mean, there is a lot to it. It
all feels pretty synchronous to me, because we've been talking about Pluto so much and about how it does bring up stuff for transformation. But now that Venus and Mars and Vesta are here, it's sort of like, now what are you going to do with it? You've done that dirty work, and look at what's been revealed, or look what's coming up to you, or look what you're dreaming about, and go with it, run with it.
Right.
There is something that I did pull a different card. It's a Louise Hay Power Thought card. And the phrase on it is, the point of power is always in the present moment. As you were speaking and thinking about Pluto, it's easy to get pulled back into the stuff that we've been cleaning out, but knowing that it's the moving forward part, and that it's this moment now, not what was behind or not what we pulled up. That's to release. But it's the moving forward part, which I would guess that has a little bit to do with the North Node as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Sarah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I love these cards.
Well, I love it that you pull them out when you've just got them always at the right moment. You've got this boing. It's kind of like, it's like this. Wow, that is so good. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to be more like the King of Swords and to kind of dig deeper. And it's hard because life is full of distractions. But even a moment, a quiet moment, it doesn't have to be, something monastic or a hermit going off into the woods. Just finding those moments to check in with your Vesta flame and see how you can keep it burning.
And let beauty inspire you this week.
Yes.
I mean, even if it's just a moment looking at the glitter of the snow in the daylight, I mean, just a moment. That's all it takes, is just to shift into another frame of mind, the numinous, the mysterious, numinous quality of life, right? And that's Neptune. Mm-hmm. That's Neptune. And that is available to us this week.
Yay, Neptune. Because Neptune's water, is it worth it? Is this a good foot soak week?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, Neptune in Pisces is always a good bath time. Lavender, Epsom salt, bubble bath. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, as always.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Friends, thanks for tuning in and listening and finding us and subscribing and sharing and liking. It's making a difference. It's always fun to see our numbers jumping up every week. So thank you for all your support. We're deeply grateful, and enjoy the week.
Yeah. Be inspired by beauty, everyone.
See you later.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.